What's up, guys? This is Brent with 247parts.com, the best place online to buy your John Deere parts. Now, in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to level the deck on this John Deere Z730M. Before we get started here, 4 tools that you're going to need. We'll put them up on the side over here throughout the video, just so you don't forget. 1 is going to be a deck leveling gauge. 2 is going to be a tire gauge. 3 is going to be a 16mm wrench. And 4 is going to be a 15mm wrench. Now, step 1 would be to get our mower on a level surface and check our tire pressure. So for instance, where I'm at right now, halfway on this mat and halfway off would not work. We want to get this all the way on that concrete surface, it's level, and then check our tire pressures. Now on a Z700 mower, as long as you do have the pneumatic fronts and the pneumatic rears, we need to be at 14 PSI in the front and 12 PSI in the rear. Once we've got those tire pressures right, our next step is lowering our deck down to the height that we want to measure at. Now, a good rule of thumb is to always measure at the 3-inch mark. So what we're going to do here is push in on our foot pedal and then turn our dial here until we get it lined up with our little notch right here. And that we're at 3, and then we're going to pull up on our yellow lever, lower this down, and from here, we can start to take those measurements and adjust that levelness. Now, step 3 is going to be taking our first initial measurement. So it's easier if we start over here on the right-hand side. We are gonna have to do both sides to make sure that all of these are correct. But we would start over here on the right-hand side where it's easier to get in, and then first thing we wanna do is spin our blade by hand to where it is facing forward and backward. Now on some other mowers, you're gonna be measuring this out to the side, but on this Z700, you wanna make sure that blade is going forward and backward because we have 4 independent adjustments here. So we're gonna start here by measuring our front blade tip. So we put our gauge right underneath, measure that front blade tip, and we should be at that 3-inch mark or just a touch away from it, and looks like we are right at 3 1/8. So 3 1/8 there is good. We want to make sure that we're between 1/8 of an inch on that blade in between what our measurement is. So if we're at 3, we want our measurement to either be 3 1/8, 3, or 2 7/8. So let's go ahead now. We're going to go ahead and check the back. Now what we're looking for is for the back to be between 1/8 and 1/4 of an inch higher. So we'll raise that up on our rear blade tip right back there. Pull that out. And right there we are looking at 3 3/8. So we're good. We are 1/4 of an inch difference between the front and the rear. So now what we would do is go ahead and move to the other side and see what that measures over there. Now on this particular mower, there is no adjustments that necessarily need to be made, but I do want to go ahead and show how that adjustment is made, being as this is the video for leveling your deck. So right here, like I said, we have 4 independent leveling points. We have chain hangers here that you can see. One's at the front, one's at the rear. Now you always want to start with your front hangers because it's very important that that front measurement is correct. Because once that front measurement is correct, then we adjust our back to make sure that it is raised that 1/4 to 1/8 of an inch higher. So to adjust these front linkages and the back linkages, it's the same process. What we're going to do is take our 15mm wrench to our back nut here on the back side of this hanger, and we're going to loosen that up. So right here, we'd go ahead and loosen that up. Just enough that we feel like we could make an adjustment here. And then another thing to keep in mind is that we do have these little notches here on our leveling indicator, and these notches will help you to keep in mind where you're at whenever you're trying to make this adjustment. Now once we've got that loose, then we can take our 16mm wrench, and this is where we can either pull up to raise that front, or we can go down to lower. And then once we've made that adjustment, then we can go back and check with our gauge where we're at. We can adjust some more. I'm gonna get this back down to where it was right there at our center notch. And then once we are where we need to be, then we can go ahead and tighten this nut on the back side back up. And just like that, with 2 wrenches, you have made that adjustment. Now, the only thing that you need to do from here is make sure that we make these adjustments on all 4 corners. So like I said, starting with the front, making sure that those are at the correct measurement. Once you get those to that 3-inch mark, then we can move to the back, make those adjustments, and make sure that we are between 1/4 to 1/8 of an inch higher than we are in the front. So guys, I hope this video helped you out. I hope you liked this video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Also guys, if you're looking for any John Deere parts, make sure to go check us out at 247parts.com. And as always guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Hey guys, make sure to go buy your parts right here and subscribe right here.